told we should wait a couple minutes
Yeah.
before we do.
We're gonna wait a little bit just to see, or just to wait for people to join.
Yep.
So
we're waiting.
We are waiting.
Let's engage in a game show while we wait.
A game show?
Yes.
A game show.
For 100 points, when was the Mississippi first diverted so as to flow upstream?
What?
Yeah, I don't even know the answer. but that'd be cool if anyone did. So no one gets any points. I'm sorry, guys.
Chris, for 100 points, what is Lawrence's mother's father's first cousin's name?
I don't think we're getting any points.
I don't think I even know this one.
Yeah, you're the one with the relatives and stuff.
I'm the one with the relatives, yeah.
Exactly.
You're terrible at this, Lawrence.
Okay.
All right. You got 100 points on Lawrence now. What do you got for us?
All right. I got something for you guys.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Biblical.
Oh, that one's easy.
All right, we got some people now. But you should still give us that.
I still want to get that 100-point question.
We all want to
do?
get
You
100
want
points here. It's really important now.
Okay, what is hermeneutics?
Oh, jeez.
Hermeneutics.
Or hermeneutics?
Hermetics?
No.
Hermeneutics is coming to a deep and personal understanding of a text, right? It's like grokking it. You know? Are you familiar with the term to grok?
What the heck? No.
Shit, I don't even know.
What is it, Lawrence?
Let's see. Herman, whatever that fucking word is.
I think you'd be the first person to ask a question who may get to have an answer to their question.
Hermeneutics may be defined as the theory of interpretation, more precisely, biblical. Is it hermeneutics or hermeneutics?
Hermeneutics.
Hermeneutics, okay. Inquires into the conditions under which the interpretation of biblical texts may be judged possible, faithful, accurate, responsible, or productive in relation to some specified goal.
Yeah,
well, hello,
so it's the ability to understand the purpose of the text and apply it.
Okay, sure. All right, so we got some people in here.
Yep.
So today...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Now that we've wasted your time for 2 minutes, we present to you one of our longest streams, hopefully.
Yeah.
The Genesis to the end, 46.
Our
or 40,
kind of Yule
46
special.
To the end. Yes.
Not really.
I mean, it's
Yule?
closest to Yule, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know, next week. I don't know, they're both pretty close. So, yep, we're doing Genesis 46 to 50. We're just
Through 50.
Through 50. Yeah.
We are completing the book of Genesis, and it's about damn time.
Yeah, seriously.
How many of these have we done?
Like,
The whole
this
thing.
is like 18, or this is the 17th?
This is 17. Yep.
Yep. It took us 17 episodes to get through Genesis, and damn it, we're gonna do it.
We are. So today's going to be a bit of a long haul. But before we get started, in the description, you will find a link to a mug. And we only need to sell 2 more to actually have them made, I think. Or there's some weird thing where we got to sell at least 3. So definitely pick those up. On one side, it has our logo, and then on the other side, it says in Star Wars font, if you lived in Milwaukee, you'd be an atheist too. So show your support, show your spirit, your holiday spirit by getting your super religious parents a mug that makes them very angry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, show your spirit.
It's a good stocking stuffer.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
They may find it broken in the stocking, but that's fine.
Anyways, we're proceeding with Genesis 46. I'm using the King James Bible.
I am using the English Standard Version.
I'm using this Holy Scriptures according to the Jewish Publication Society of America, etc.
Okay.
I'm not reading the rest again.
Right.
Okay.
People still keep asking why we're using the old ones. We're using 3 different Bibles here, but we're using this one specifically because it's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, it looks great.
Fucking, if you haven't seen it before,
It looks-
here's the cover.
It looks like straight out of
look
a
at
Disney
that
film.
shit.
It's amazing.
Straight up.
Yep.
So
Like one of those
I found
storybooks you open.
I find that in the basement, and I went, "Wow, this is perfect. We need this. This whole show will be based around this stupid product."
And besides that, it's really not difficult to understand what they're talking about at most points.
And we've got the version here that is pretty much as close
Standard
to
English.
Yeah, standard English, modern day dialect as we're gonna get. And this sometimes has some weird contexts written on the sides, and this sometimes has its own context. So I think it's really useful to have more than one type of Bible.
Yes. If you would like to send in a Bible
that'd
for
be
us
sweet.
to use,
You know,
that would be amazing.
Send us,
That would be
send us an
amazing.
email or something, and we'll try to arrange it so that we can get an address to send it to, and we'd be happy.
MilwaukeeAtheists@gmail.com.
That's right.
Yes, and MilwaukeeAtheist.com
As
for
well.
you guys to talk.
Yep.
All right,
Let's,
so
get, let's get started on its
chapter
journey.
46. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the God of his father Isaac. And God spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation. Again, like they're all getting the great nation promise. Damn it. I will go down with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee up again. And Joseph shall put his hand upon thine eyes. So this is interesting. He says he's going to go down with him into Egypt.
Yeah.
But that would imply that the popular perception of God is omnipresent force or being is not supported by the text, because why would he have to go?
he's already there.
Yeah. I mean, if it said like...
Well, I mean, he was in the garden initially looking for Adam. That's why he had to call out to him.
Yeah.
So he wasn't all-knowing,
Yeah.
and he wasn't everywhere. Because if he was everywhere, don't you think he would know?
Yeah. More evidence that the popular perception of God by the Abrahamic religious people is completely unverified by their religious texts.
Yeah, and even if there are verses in here that say such a thing, the text itself goes against it.
Yeah. All right, so... And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and their wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry them. And they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came to Egypt, Jacob, and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. And these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt.
Oh, you get to read them again.
Yep. Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Hanak and Phalu and Hezron and Carmi, and the sons of Simeon, Jemuel and Jamin, or Yemuel and Yamin, right? And Ohad and Yachin and Zohar and Shaul, the son of a Canaanitish woman.
Canaanite-ish.
Canaanitish.
You know.
This just says Canaanite. I think they were just like, no, that translation's stupid. What does that even mean?
Kind of like. Not quite.
Not quite.
I don't know how
So was she a Canaanite or was she Canaanite-ish?
Canaanite-ish.
Canaanitish.
I like it.
That sounds like a
She
disease.
just had some Canaanite features,
Yeah.
Like syphilis.
I guess.
Well, I don't know.
And the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari, and the sons of Judah,
Merari.
and Onan, and Shelah, and Pharez, and Zara. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan.
Oh, no.
And the sons of Pharez were Hezron and Hamul, and the sons of Issachar, Tola, and Puvah, and Job, and Shimron, and the sons of Zebulun, Sered, and Elon, and Jahiel. That's the first mention of Job. Job
Yeah.
will become significant later.
Right?
You know, this says Yob, Y-O-B.
Huh. Well, maybe this is Job. Maybe it's the book of Job.
Maybe it's a different guy.
Maybe it is a different guy.
I highly doubt it's the book of Job in here.
Is it?
I highly doubt it.
Please check.
I will check.
Because it would be hilarious.
Fucking the book of shit.
Where are we
I
at?
always forget where.
Isn't there a thing at the beginning?
There is, but I really
What
didn't
line
want to
are we
go
on
there.
here?
Oh, here it is. It's just Job, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's Job there, but it's Job. So this is Job, not Job.
Different guy.
These be the sons of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob in Padanaram with his daughter Dinah. All the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad, Ziphion, and Hagi, Shuni, and Esbon, Eri, and Arodi, and Areli, and the sons of Asher, Jimnah, and Ishua, and Isui, and Beriah, and Sebra their sister, and the sons of Beriah, Heber, and Malchiel.
Jeez,
These are
Reuben.
the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these he bare unto Jacob, even 16 souls.
Oh, come
The
on.
sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela and Becher and Ashbel, Gera and Napman, Ahi and Rosh, Mupim, Mupim and Hupim.
This is
Sorry.
great.
Sorry, that's amazing. And then people question why we read these things. It's for this. Just these horrible names.
And Ard.
Ard.
Nice name, Ard.
Hey, Ard, where you at?
I like Mupim and Hupim, though.
Imagine them being called for dinner. Whooping, whooping.
Uh,
Ard.
Orangelo, Lamangelo.
That's pretty great.
These are the sons of Rachel, which were born to Jacob. All the souls were 14. And the sons of Dan, Hushim, and the sons of Naphtali, Jaziel, and Guni, and Jezer, and Shillem. These are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel his daughter, which she bare unto Jacob. All the souls were 7. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his loins, beside Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 66. And the sons of Joseph, which were born him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70. And he sent Judah before him unto Joseph to direct his face unto Goshen, and they came to the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot, and went up to meet Israel his father, to Goshen, and presented himself unto him. And he fell on his neck and wept a good while.
Joseph.
Joseph,
Just
stop crying.
Stop crying,
So,
Joseph.
okay, so up until this point, this entire chapter has just been everyone that's going to Egypt.
Yeah.
Here's an exhaustive list.
Oh man, it's like when a really annoying person goes to a party and then talks about it later, and they're like, and Jimmy was there, and Carol was there,
And Carol's son was there, and Carol's son told us about their daughter.
and Francine and Jake were just so wonderful.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Anyways. And Israel said unto Joseph, now let me die,
No.
since I have seen thy face, because thou art yet alive. And Joseph said unto his brethren, and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say to him, my brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade hath been to feed cattle. And they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you, and shall say, what is your occupation? That ye shall say, thy servant's trade hath been about cattle from our youth, even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. for every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
All right.
Wow.
So they're saying that they're gonna take the really nice land for their cattle,
Yeah.
but that they want it to be represented to the public as that they're just like hick farmers and they don't want people to pay attention to them while they're getting all the nice land.
Goshen is in Egypt, obviously, but did they describe what's so great about it other than they brought it up before?
I don't know. It's probably good land for telling.
Have you? Does that book have anything on the lands? Maybe
Oh, in Goshen.
Maybe Goshen is.
in here.
How's everyone in the chat doing? We wanna see people active and
Yeah.
chatting because it's a chat.
Well, I have this theory that it's near the holidays and people are a little busy.
Yeah, that
So-
would in fact make sense.
I forgive
Yeah.
anybody who's normally here who's not.
I don't.
It's unforgivable, huh? It's heinous.
This is the one unforgivable sin.
Oh my.
There is no mention of Goshen.
Really?
It's too bad.
Huh. You'd think it would be in there.
That's unfortunate.
That
Well,
is
Lawrence,
unfortunate.
it's time for your turn.
Yes, it is. It is in fact my turn.
47.
And
So
Yes.
Joseph went in and told Pharaoh, "My father and my brothers, with their flocks and herds and all that they possess, have come from the land of Canaan. They are now in the land of Goshen." And from among his brothers he took 5 men and presented them to Pharaoh. Pharaoh said to his brothers, "What is your occupation?" And they said to Pharaoh, "Your servants are shepherds, as our father were." They said to Pharaoh, "We have come to sojourn in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. And now please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen." Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best of the land. Let them settle in the land of Goshen, and if you know any able men among them, put them in charge of my livestock." So basically, you can live there, but at least do some stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. At least take care of my cattle and shit.
it's
And-
a fair exchange.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do anything.
Then Joseph brought in Jacob his father and stood before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. That's nice of him.
Now Pharaoh can have kids.
And then Pharaoh said to Jacob, "How many are the days of the years of your life?" How old are you?
And
And
it just says, "How old are you?"
does it really?
Well, how old art thou?
All right. Then Joseph brought in Jacob his father. Oh, I just read that. And Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The days of the years of my sojourning are
Wow.
130 years."
Hold on, I wanted to go back and say mine. How many are the days of the years of thy life?
Okay, so that's closer to this one.
Well, they're all totally different.
Yeah.
Again. Anyway, sorry.
Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not few. So 130, not that many, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers and the days of their sojourning.
So basically, it's like, I'm 130 years young.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like my fathers and their fathers, they were all really old.
Yeah, they lived to like 400 or so.
They're like 900 or somewhere in
Jeez.
fucking there.
So I'll be around for a while, he says.
And Jacob blessed Pharaoh
Again.
and went out from the presence of Pharaoh. Then Joseph settled his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as
King
Pharaoh had commanded.
Ramses.
And Joseph provided his father, his brothers, and all his father's household with food according to the number of their dependents.
Now, is this Ramses?
The same Ramses as the
same
Pharaoh?
Ramses?
Well, there were lots of Ramses.
That's true.
We're meant to infer that this is like the first one, right? First
Well,
Ramses.
it's referring to the land of Ramses.
Yeah,
So
So the land that the first Ramses originates from.
maybe it's the way I'm seeing it is that there was Pharaoh, maybe the first Ramses, and he had this land, and then when he died and this new Pharaoh took over, they named the land after him. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I have looked over it and have concluded we don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea. But Land of
We'd
Ramses,
like to know.
it's probably named after the Pharaoh. Probably.
It's a good chance because that was one of the first ones, right?
So this is probably written after the time of Ramses the First.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the Ramses, but yeah.
So what is the time of Ramses the First?
I'm not sure about Ramses the First.
I can
Ramses.
remember, I've got some knowledge of Egypt. Let me think about it, and I'll.
I know Ramses the Second and Ramses the Third were in like 1200
Okay.
BC.
So it was after the Greek influence.
No, it was before.
The Greek influence was when?
Well, it was before the. It was before the.
Ptolemaic era.
It was before the collapse, the Bronze Age collapse. So it was before 1176.
Okay. Because I was thinking King Ramses is like from 700.
No.
Yeah, I think he's a really old one. A relatively old one.
No, because okay, so Ramses the Second was in like 1200 something BC. So Ramses the First would be before that.
Yeah.
Maybe 1300s BC because there was a guy in between, Seti the First. So.
Oh, I was.
So
okay.
maybe we're dealing with Seti right now as the pharaoh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. My history of pharaohs is not that great.
It's pretty bad.
So I'm not sure about the timeline. But let's continue.
Yep.
Now there was no food in all the land, for the famine was very severe.
Very sore.
We were aware that it was bad, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan in exchange for the grain that they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money was all spent in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us food. Why should we die before your eyes? For our money is gone." And Joseph answered, "Give your livestock, and I will give you food in exchange for your livestock if your money is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them food in exchange for the horses, the flocks, the herds, and the donkeys. He supplied them with food in exchange for all their livestock that year. And when that year was ended, they came to him the following year and said to him, "We will not hide from my lord that our money is all spent. The herds of livestock are my lord's. There is nothing left in the sight of my lord but our bodies and our land. Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for food, and we," this is weird, "and we with our land will be servants to Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, and that the land may not be desolate."
So they're selling themselves into slavery now.
Indentured servitude, yeah. That's what it looks like.
Hooray!
So Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for all the Egyptians sold their fields because the famine was severe on them. The land became Pharaoh's. As for the people, he made servants of them from one end of Egypt to the other. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had a fixed allowance from Pharaoh and lived on the allowance that Pharaoh gave them. Therefore, they did not sell their land. Then Joseph said to the people, "Behold, I have this day bought you and your land for Pharaoh. Now here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land, and the harvests you shall give a fifth to Pharaoh, and 4/5 shall be your own. Well, isn't that just sweet?
He's so nice. This is a 20% tax.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
As seed for the field, and as food for yourselves and your households, and as food for your little ones. And they said, You have saved our lives. May it please my Lord. We will be servants to Pharaoh. So Joseph made it a statute concerning the land of Egypt, and it stands to this day that Pharaoh should have the fifth. The land of the priests alone did not become Pharaoh's. Thus Israel settled in the land of Egypt, in the land of Goshen, and they gained possessions in it and were fruitful and multiplied greatly. We were already aware that they were multiplying greatly.
Yeah, they're like rabbits.
Seriously.
They got blessed.
And then people just live and die and live and die. That's the whole spiel. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the days of Jacob, the years of his life, were 147 years. And when the time drew near that Israel must die, he called his son Joseph and said to him, If now I have found favor in your sight, put your hand under my thigh and promise to deal kindly and truly with me. Do not bury me in Egypt, but let me lie with my fathers. Carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burying place. He answered, I will do as you have said. And he said, Swear to me. And he swore to him. Then Israel bowed himself upon the head of his bed.
And wept. Mine doesn't say that, but he just
okay.
weeps all the time. He may as well have.
Well, that's Joseph. This is Israel.
Yeah, different characters.
Yeah.
Chris.
Seriously, come on, Chris. Get with the times.
Keep up.
Wasn't Joseph in the room? Yeah, he was the one who
Yeah,
had...
he was in the room.
Yeah, he swore
But he's saying
unto
then
him and wept, I'm
Israel
sure.
bowed himself upon the head of the bed.
Fine, and then Joseph wept. Why not? I don't care. He may as well have. All right.
All right, so let's summarize all the shit that's happening. So they need to live because there's this famine going on.
So they sell their cattle first because they ran out of money.
Yeah, so now they're working for Pharaoh, and Pharaoh's all like, "You're all my slaves now," but it's more like indentured servitude than slavery.
Well, it's taxation.
I think it's
which
agreeing
is
to be
slavery.
taxed. Yeah.
But they wanted to work, to live.
I get that, but that's still kind of like...
Well, really, they just
work or
wanted
die.
the seed. Because Egypt, the Pharaoh and Joseph had already stored up all of the grain and all the seed and everything. So they had a complete monopoly over it.
Mm-hmm.
And when the people couldn't sustain themselves, they were like, please just let us have seeds so that we can plant food.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll do it if you agree to a 20% taxation, flat tax. I mean, that's a little much.
That is a little much. I agree. But it is.
I mean, he might be responsible by virtue of, forcing so much storage of the grain. He probably pumped up production and ruined the land. I mean, I would say that he would be responsible if he was in charge of it.
Probably. I'm just trying to figure out if this is exactly slavery or not, because they're like, thank you. They were very thankful
I mean, they get to live.
for being his servants. So,
It's
I don't know.
a show of obedience to authority. It's what the Bible likes to push
Yeah.
and shove.
okay. Well, anyways, your turn.
Hooray! I get 48. It came to pass after these things that one said to Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Methuselah? Or no, what's that?
Manasseh.
Manasseh and Ephraim? Did I get that one right?
Ephraim.
Ephraim. Okay. So Manasseh and Ephraim, and one told Jacob, which they're calling him Jacob again, and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee, and Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, see, they said Jacob again. God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz,
Luz.
in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said unto me, Behold,
Behold!
I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a company of peoples, and will give this land to thee, to thy seed after thee, for an everlasting possession. And now thy two sons, who were born unto thee into the land of Egypt before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine, Ephraim and Manasseh, right? Manasseh?
Manasseh.
Manasseh?
Oh my God.
Manasseh? Okay, it's hard. It's hard.
Whatever.
Even said Reuben and Simeon shall be mine, and thy issue that thou begat, what is that? Bragest?
Begettest?
Begettest? Oh my goodness. Thou begettest after them shall be thine. They shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance?
Inheritance, Chris?
Is it in?
Inheritance.
Mine,
Are you not?
Dude, it's one of those. Yeah, it's inheritance. Okay. And as for me, when I came from what's that? Padan?
Padan.
Rachel died unto me in the land of Canaan in the way, when there was still some way to come to Ephraim. And I buried her there in the way of Ephraim. The same is Bethlehem. And Israel told Joseph's son and said, "This is a real, what's even going on, guys? Can we summarize this at all?"
Do you not understand?
I get that they're talking about how people were buried in different places.
Jacob is sick,
Yes.
and he's requesting that he gets buried in the burial place of his ancestors.
I got that.
Which is the land that Abraham bought.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling him where it is. It's in Bethlehem now. It's now called Bethlehem.
Okay, so they're just kind of retracing the history of that area and summarizing that it's called Bethlehem.
In Bethlehem, there must be some cave somewhere that has a whole bunch of graves of all these biblical characters, right?
Didn't they bury Rachel, for example, like under a tree or something? I could swear that's what happened.
They were talking about that, saying in Ithrath they buried her in the Ithrath way. And the same as Bethlehem.
Yeah, so, but I'm pretty sure when we were reading about the death of Rachel, they had buried her under a tree or something.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. And Israel beheld Joseph's son and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom God hath given me here. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and what's that? Io? Lo. Okay, it's not an I. Lo, God hath let me see thou seed also. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he fell down on his face unto the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in the left hand. Yeah, I know, I can't get that. and brought him unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left upon Manasseh's head.
You say it different
What
every
yes,
single
I
time.
know. I can't get it right. I'm
Just
sorry.
say Manasseh.
Manasseh? Okay. Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn, and he blessed Joseph and said, the God before whom my father Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God whom hath been my shepherd all my life long, unto this day, the angel who hath redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named in them. And the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, let them grow unto a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father was lying his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. Why? And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head onto Manasseh's head.
I'm pretty sure you've exhausted every possible way to say this word, this fucking name.
Some more. I'm sure I could. And Joseph said unto his father,
We could get Chris like a Hooked on Phonics tape.
it didn't help. I tried. Seriously.
When?
You tried Hooked on Phonics?
When I was a kid.
Okay, you should try it again.
No, it didn't help.
You gotta study it.
I don't know, man. Repetition makes me not want to do stuff. Anyways,
Well, that's how you read.
sometimes don't reread stuff is usually how I do it. All right. Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people. Great. And he also shall become a great, or also shall be great.
Shall become a great.
Become a people, stupid.
I know. But it's
what's
like,
this?
he has
Howbeit-
descendants.
Howbeit, his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them that day, saying, by thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and Manasseh? No. Just say it. I want to get
Manasseh.
Manasseh. Manasseh. And he said Ephraim before Manasseh, and Israel said unto Joseph, behold, I die. Great. But God will be with you and bring you back unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of thy hand of the, Amorite, with my sword and with my bow. All right.
All
What do you
right.
think that means?
So let's.
It's very clear. He blesses his grandchildren, and then he says, I'm going to give you a bigger portion of your inheritance than your brothers. And the portion that you're going to get is what I took in battle with the Amorites.
Got it.
So let's try to summarize what went on here. So,
Because Chris must learn how to read.
yes. So Manasseh.
Manasseh.
Got a better.
Can you say it?
Manasseh?
There you go.
Thank you.
Now, can you read it?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm still confused as to why. Actually, no, I'm not confused.
God's will.
So Jacob was blessing Ephraim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph was all like, "Fuck no, Dad. What the fuck you think you doing?" So it's like,
Yeah, because traditionally the blessing is supposed to be given to the firstborn son,
right.
and Jacob was blessing the secondborn son.
Yeah, so he did that, but then he's saying that they're going to make them the same. God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh.
Yeah, he says that they both get a blessing. It's just that
One's greater.
the younger son
It's gonna be greater, yeah.
is going to be better.
All right.
Must suck to be the firstborn son, then.
Manasseh.
Manasseh. Yeah, it
Got
must
it.
suck to be him.
Yeah, all right.
Anyways, chapter 49, because we are finishing Genesis today.
We are
Yeah,
finishing.
No matter how little interest it's receiving right now, we're finishing this thing.
Yeah, whatever. Shit
Nobody
happens.
cares about the last chapters of Genesis.
They're the most important.
I mean, how many people do you know who've actually read chapters 49 and 50 of Genesis?
Not many.
Exactly.
Not
They
many
get
people.
halfway through it and then they skip to Exodus.
Yeah. They're like, this shit has gotten boring. I got to Sodom and Gomorrah. I got to Abraham and Isaac. Fuck the rest of this.
Yep, we're good.
Exodus.
All right. Chapter 49. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which befall you in the last days.
Oh,
Gather
shit.
yourselves together, and hear ye, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Wow, you're a much better, more dramatic reader than I am.
Yes. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, and the excellence of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, and defiledest thou it. He went up to my couch. Simeon and Levi.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Okay, unstable as water, you shall not have,
You missed everything, man. You missed everything. Everything already happened.
everything.
Now we're already on chapter
Well, I think it's
49.
getting better now.
Yeah.
But, so hold on
Got
here.
2 more chapters at least. Don't worry, you're gonna get something out of it.
We had some really boring chapters earlier.
All right. So I'm still. What was this? Preeminence. Okay. Unstable as water, you shall not have preeminence, because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. He went up to my couch. So this is during a blessing.
Then he's like saying he's a jerk.
He's like, you're a piece of shit, and you
He
defiled.
also says that he has the excellency of dignity and
And the excellency of power, but he also says he's unstable as water.
Unstable as water.
And that he does not have any excellency.
You're not going anywhere in life. You're a piece of shit.
Now, what's
Wow.
up with that?
Well,
in the
that's
middle
mean.
of a blessing. I mean, what did Reuben do that was so good?
okay. So
I remember there was a story, but I almost completely forget the context, that Reuben,
Didn't he sell it?
no, he like saw his father naked or something, didn't he?
no, that was Moses, not Moses, Noah who got saw naked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is something different.
Yeah,
There was
This is-
something. Okay, there
This is
was.
completely different. Anyways, Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
Wow, listen to mine. Weapons of violence are their kinship.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. The hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come.
What would dude.
Shiloh.
Mine's so different.
Mine says tribute comes to him.
Nor the ruler's staff from between his feet. That's a weird line.
And unto him shall be the gathering of the people be. Shall the gathering of the people be.
And unto him shall the obedience of the peoples be.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have.
Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's colt unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
Okay.
Wait, so hold on. So he washed his garments in wine. But his...
Yeah, water's pretty stable if people can walk on it.
But then...
Well, it's basically just saying that he's going to be rich. But his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk.
Oh.
Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
Oh, so hold on. So he's describing what the people of what Judah's descendants look like, and that would make sense in context.
White teeth and red eyes.
Well, this mine says darker than wine, so
Brown.
yeah, brown. That's what I'm thinking. I mean that's from my translation. So brown eyes and really white teeth. That is what Judah's descendants should have.
Yeah.
Not very.
Don't they get ships? They get ships too.
All right. Issachar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens.
Dude, mine says large boned ass.
Oh. And he's...
I can't believe it says
It's not a fat ass. It's big boned.
Yeah.
large
It's
comma
big
bone
boned.
ass.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm moving on, sorry.
And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people, as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. That's kind of nuts.
Man, this is nuts.
This is like just some old dude's insane
Blessing.
rambling.
Also, I got another line that's literally right after that large boned ass. It's crouching down between the sheep's folds.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Yeah.
What the? This is all weird. You're right. This is an insane rambling.
I have waited for
I could imagine this in like a movie or something. He just starts saying this shit, and they're like, "Is this supposed to be a blessing?" It's like, it's supposed to be a blessing. You sit there and you take it.
Yeah, you will love it.
Okay. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties.
Woo, dainties.
Yay, dainties! Who doesn't love dainties?
Me.
Oh,
What are
well,
what
you're an
royal
empty and
dainties?
soulless subhuman.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
pretty big thing to agree to.
Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him and hate him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hand were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breasts and of the womb. So basically, they're not going to be
What
able...
is what's that?
That coucheth?
Yeah, coucheth. Seriously, coucheth? What's coucheth?
I don't know.
Wait, which verse?
Mine
Coucheth?
is the last one of 25. Coucheth.
It says crouches beneath.
Mine's coucheth.
Oh, maybe they misprinted it.
Wow. Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
ridiculous.
great.
It's ridiculous.
All right. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is it, that their father spake unto them.
This is it.
So hold on. What's really interesting is that the Benjamin part, like 25, for example,
Yeah.
seems like it should be at the end. Does it not? Like, it starts talking about God the Father who will help you. I don't know. It just seems like an ending, and it just seems like 27 is misplaced. Is it just me? It might just be me.
They've been going in an order, and I don't know if yours has the same weird spacing as mine, but when he started his blessing, he started with Reuben, and then he went to Simeon and Levi. He went down a list of each one of his kids getting
about
blessings.
Joseph when he starts talking about it. He's saying that very clearly Joseph has been blessed by God.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right.
yeah.
Benjamin. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite. In the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite for a possession of a burying place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife. And there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he
See,
gathered up
what's
his-
interesting is
It's
your
so close to
translation
that.
says from the children of Heth. Mine just says from the Hittites.
And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed, and yielded up the ghost, and was gathered unto his people.
Mine said
Okay, so dude died.
and expired. Mine's so
Like a
elegant.
magazine subscription.
like
Yeah.
any food.
Like a beautiful magazine subscription flying in the wind.
No.
All we are magazine subscriptions.
In the wind.
No.
Yeah.
I'd buy dust over that.
No. Magazine subscription.
Dust.
So
Now
it's
only
it's pretty
$9.99
quick
a
here. He
pound.
goes on this tirade. It's not really a tirade. He's actually just telling them exactly what's going to happen, but he just calls it a blessing. And then he dies and is buried exactly where he wants to be buried.
All right. You read chapter 50 then.
Yep, I got chapter 50.
He's wondering where all this took place in the world.
This
in modern
is-
day,
This was in
This is
Egypt.
Goshen.
Goshen. In Egypt.
Goshen in Egypt, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. The land of Ramses.
Yep. So if you can find where that is nowadays, that's where it is. It's in Egypt otherwise.
And then on the way to shit, what was the name of the town that the burial site was? We went over that. I just totally forgot the name.
Bethlehem?
Bethlehem, yeah. It was on the way to Bethlehem.
It's
that-
called Ephron.
Ephron?
Yeah, right
Was
there,
it?
the fields
But it's
of
also
Ephron.
Bethlehem.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
also Bethlehem.
Okay. All right.
Oh, hey,
50.
somebody loves atheism. That's great.
Atheism is something to love.
You can.
Does it say somebody loves atheism?
Yep. It says, hello, atheists. I love atheism. I love it.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, great.
Wow.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Excellent. I guess that means that they love us too.
Because we are atheism.
By
Yeah, all of
osmosis.
it. Right here.
We are solely the representatives.
Collectively, we are 3 representatives of atheism.
We're the fucking Trinity.
Yes.
Yeah, we're the
right here.
Trinity.
Who's the Holy Ghost? I don't want to be the Father or the Son.
Oh,
Okay, fine. You can be Holy Ghost. And into the hole he goes.
Yep.
All right.
Many night holes in your ghost.
And guys, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and we got mugs.
We got mugs.
Don't forget
We got
mugs.
Yeah,
mugs.
you can purchase a mug for Christmas. Become a patron. if you feel so inclined.
Talk to us on the website.
On our forums, yeah.
Yep.
MilwaukeeAtheist.com.
And now for the exciting conclusion
Of Genesis.
Of our 5-chapter marathon of Genesis.
It's
Chapter
not,
50.
And how long has it been? Because it hasn't been that much longer than it usually has.
Actually, we are at 54 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much longer than...
Well, I think my chapter was pretty short, and Ruben read pretty fast at one point. He was real enthusiastic. His version was significantly shorter in some ways than mine, too. Because there were some lines that were like, I don't know, if we just go look back at the blessings real quick. Let's go to 16. My 16, what does yours say?
For which 49 or
49:16 of the blessings.
49:16,
or
yeah.
9:16? Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel.
Yeah, what else?
Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heels,
Yeah,
so
mine
that the rider
says a
shall fall
horned
back.
snake in the path, and then another line that biteth the horse's heel. So
That's
it's
not that much longer. It's a word longer.
I'm saying that there are a lot of instances of that. That was not a good example, but there are a lot of instances of that where there are some lines that are just combined and a lot shorter.
No,
Like the Joseph one for me probably was a ton shorter. It says, a fruitful vine by a fountain, its branches run over the wall, the arches have dealt bitterly with him, and shot him and hated him. I don't know how much more you have there, but mine's just keeps going and has a lot. It's got like 4 or 5 more lines in between, like 20 and 26.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that might just be why it seems like...
That was in mine too.
All of it? Every word for word?
I have
Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hand were made strong by the hands of the Almighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast and of the womb. That is where 26.
All right, there were like 4 extra words between that.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Extra words.
I don't know.
That does take like a minute for Chris to read, so
Yeah.
it really is
Oh,
a
yeah.
long time.
I read mine quickly. We were just complaining about how we didn't use as much time as we'd like.
What were you saying, Ruben?
All right.
Lawrence, read the chapter.
I will in fact read the chapter. All right, chapter 50. Then Joseph fell on his father's face
And wept.
and wept over him and kissed him, of course. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. So the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days were required for it, for that is how many are required for embalming. Okay? And the Egyptians wept for him 70 days. And when 70 days, really? Wow, okay. And when
they
the
really liked the guy.
He was a
I
great
guess.
guy.
And when the days of weeping for him were past, shut up,
Sorry, you gotta
Chris.
reread that.
Shut up, Chris.
I don't have control entirely over that. Oh man, I sneezed and we lost 2 people.
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah. And when the days of weeping for him were past, Joseph spoke to the household of Pharaoh, saying, "If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, Father? Wait, what?
Which verse?
Okay, I skipped a word. My father made me swear, saying, I am about to die in my tomb that I hewed out for myself in the land of Canaan. There shall you bury me. Now therefore let me please go up and bury my father. Then I will return. And Pharaoh answered, Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear. So Joseph went up to bury his father. With him went up all his servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his household, and all the elders of Egypt, as well as all the household of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's household. Only their children, their flocks, and their herds were left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. It's like a whole fucking
Funeral procession.
yeah. It's a fucking migration to a funeral. That's what it is.
To a tomb.
Yeah, to a tomb.
And then they're gonna go like, "Oh, Father, we loved you. You were great. Here's some
You were
religious stuff.
amazing.
I'm gonna burn this goat for you." And then they carelessly throw his body into a tomb.
Yep.
You can be the same character.
It was a very great company. When they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, they lamented there with a very great and grievous lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. So he was sad for 7 days,
And everyone
but
else
everyone else
was
for
10
70.
times longer.
Wow.
Yeah.
When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning of the threshing floor of Atad, they said, "This is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians." No shit. Therefore, the place was named Abel Mizraim, means mourning. Abel Mizraim means morning or meadow of Egypt. So there's a little factoid for you.
Neat.
It is beyond the Jordan. Didn't they just tell us that?
Yes, but they really wanted you to know.
Okay.
Because in my version, they didn't say it the first time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Thus his sons did for him as he had commanded them. For his sons carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field at Machpelah,
Machpelah.
whatever, to the east of Mamre, which Abraham bought with the field from Ephron the Hittite to possess as a burying place. After he had buried his father, Joseph returned to Egypt with his brothers and all who had gone up with him to bury his father. All right. They finally buried the fucking dead guy.
Yep.
Whoa.
And now they're back in Egypt.
Hooray. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Egypt.
And
I hope you
now
enjoy your stay.
It seems like this is the most accommodating the Egyptians have ever been. Why is that?
Because Joseph is
Oh, he was smart.
second in line to Pharaoh.
Yeah,
Well,
he was a higher up, and his dad just died, so they were all like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
Oh, somebody says
My condolences."
that they need a thermos mug if they have any, but he really needs a mug if we have any anyways.
Well,
I think, do we have a link in the description?
Yeah, the link for the mug is in the description.
Yeah, so if you're looking
Yeah.
for that mug,
It's not a thermos, sadly,
no,
but it's
you can have coffee in it though.
yeah, you could put
Or-
drinks in it.
or tea, or water,
Or-
or milk.
If we ever
Or
do another drinking
juice.
competition, you're welcome to use your official Milwaukee Atheist drinking companion cup that lets you put alcohol in it.
It has fully consented to alcohol
You
being
can
put
put
inside.
whatever kind of liquids or solids you want.
Yeah, you could put rocks in it.
You know what? We wouldn't even mind if you put in some gases that had a harder time escaping, like, put some carbon dioxide in it.
Or
You can hold it there.
or you can put some dry ice in it and then pour water in there and just wait a while.
Yeah, that might break the mug, but hey, you already bought it. That's fine, I guess.
Yeah. We don't do repairs.
We're not.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
To the end.
Yep. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "It may be that Joseph will hate us and pay us back for all the evil that we did to him." Okay, so their reasoning was that the only reason he hadn't done anything to them yet.
Because his father was alive.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I thought he flat out forgave him.
He did.
Yeah.
They're just paranoid.
They're just really paranoid.
Well, I mean, they are dicks. They should.
They are, in fact, dicks. They sold their brother into slavery.
Oh, you can only get them online. We don't actually have the mugs. So we get it through a third party.
Yeah, they're on Teespring. We sell them on Teespring.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
So they sent a message to Joseph saying, "Your father gave this command before he died. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgression of your brothers and their sin because they did evil to you." Wait, hold on. Okay, so they are trying to trick him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now, please forgive the transgression. Wait, hold on. This is a different thing, but the same thing. Okay.
Yep.
And now please forgive the transgression of the servants of the God of your father. Joseph wept, of course, when they when they spoke to him. His brothers also came and fled down before him and said, "Behold, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, behold,
Behold!
we are your servants." But Joseph said to them, "Do not fear, for am I in the place of God?
Yeah! Good question. I have no idea.
As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people." Wait, what's this? Or numerous people. Okay, as another translation is.
Oh, mine just says, "But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive."
Okay, so it's just different ordering. Okay. Yeah. That many people should be kept alive as they are today. So do not fear. I will provide for you and your little ones. Thus he comforted them and spoke kindly to them.
Wow, what a nice guy. I mean, he cries a lot, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's nice. All right. So Joseph remained in Egypt, he and his father's house. Joseph lived 110 years, and Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were counted as Joseph's own.
Great.
And then there's another one, Hebrew were born on Joseph's knees.
Gross.
I think those are two very
Mine
different
says
things.
were brought up on Joseph's knees, so he raised them.
Okay,
basically, is what
that's okay. He raised them. And Joseph said to his brothers, "I am about to die, but God will visit you and bring you up out of this land to the land that he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob." It seems like God is making a lot of promises, and he's just taking his sweet-ass time to deliver on them.
Yeah.
I waited my whole life for God to deliver on these
Nothing
things.
happened.
The only
Now
thing-
you have to wait.
All he did for me was tell me there was going to be like some fertile times and some drought times, and that was my life. Thanks, God.
Thanks, God. Where the fuck am I? Okay. Then Joseph made the sons of Israel swear, saying, "God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here." So Joseph died, being 110 years old. They embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. So it's interesting that he didn't want to be buried.
Well, he lived his whole life there mostly. I think he liked Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a fucking higher up in Egypt.
Yeah.
All right.
Very well off.
Yeah. So we are finally
Exodus.
done with Genesis.
Exodus.
Yes.
We're ready for
Exodus.
We finally completed Genesis.
you.
Yeah, that
Exodus
took
looks like it's going to be a read.
Yes, it is going to be a read.
I'm just kidding. They're all going to be a read.
So, gentlemen,
What have we learned today?
what did you think about the book Genesis?
Well, let's see. It starts off very exciting.
Yes.
Yes. And then it gets
Progressively more mundane.
boring.
Yeah.
But then it got a little bit interesting towards the end there.
Yeah, there were some really cool parts.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of boring garbage between those cool parts.
Yeah, there definitely was. So, let's see, the creation, and then the flood, then Babel, and then was it Sodom and Gomorrah, and then Abraham and Isaac.
What about Cain and Abel? When were they in?
That was right after the creation.
Okay, right.
So yeah. So what are your favorite stories? I want to hear the audience's favorite stories
Yeah.
from Genesis.
Yeah, guys.
And while they are receiving this because it's on a delay, what are your favorite stories?
Well, my favorite story from Genesis is when Lot, shortly after losing his wife and all of his possessions and everything, basically, is living in a cave where he is then forcibly intoxicated and ruthlessly raped by his 2 daughters.
Twice. It happened twice, didn't it?
Twice.
Yeah.
Yes. They raped him multiple times.
Yeah, and they just kept getting him drunk to do so.
So does the Bible advocate that? So is it okay for Christians to go to a bar and get a girl wasted and then screw her?
I
don't know.
I don't know, but from Genesis...
Only if they're family members?
Only if they're family members.
Oh,
I am not sure, but I don't think anywhere in the Bible it says don't rape.
No, it certainly doesn't.
In fact, I'm not sure about the rape thing, but from things that they do condemn, pulling out is a thing that they condemn.
They'll kill you.
Yeah, coming on the floor. Here's a very interesting thing. There was a Gnostic gospel, I think it's called the Lesser Gospel of Mary, where Jesus takes Mary Magdalene up on a hill, rapes her, pulls out, comes in his hand, and says, "This is what all men should do."
Oh, what? All right. Oh yeah,
That's
that guy
wonderful.
was super anti having kids. Whoever wrote that one, I remember reading about that.
It's just so fucking mind blowing that there was a group of early Christians that believed that. It's hilarious.
It's really weird, man.
Yeah.
But that specifically goes against the God of Genesis, though, because the God of Genesis just killed a guy when he did that.
Yeah, he just instantly died.
That was so fucking funny.
Still trying to figure out what my favorite one was.
Another one of our favorites is Cain and Abel, where Cain is all like, "Am I my brother's keeper?"
What am I, my brother's
Lawrence,
keeper?
you love Cain so
I
much.
do.
That
I
you
love
have
Cain so much. I can't see.
You have a tattoo.
From
Hold
the
on.
supernatural thing.
There it is.
Yeah.
Now you motherfuckers see it.
There you go.
It's the mark of Cain.
Mark O'Kane.
Yeah. Mark of Cain from the show Supernatural, which I fucking love.
Yeah.
Now, I think here's a very interesting thing. I was telling Ruben about this earlier today. So in the 1700s and the 1800s, when they were trying to justify slavery to those that were like, maybe slavery is not that great, the church, they reasoned that the mark of Cain was actually turning Cain's skin darker. So they reasoned that the Canaanites, or were those the descendants of Cain?
That's what
I
you were
don't know.
saying
Wouldn't
earlier.
they be?
Sounds like it, but it's spelled differently, so I don't know. I don't remember. But they reasoned that since the descendants of Cain were enslaved by, I don't know if it was Abraham, or they were enslaved by some other dude. So they were like, so the black people, they were enslaved by the white people. So now we can do that.
Yeah,
Since
they justified.
they justified it by saying that the ancestors of blacks was Cain.
It's not uncommon for them to claim that people who look different are some way cursed. Like, fucking Mormons have that whole thing about the Native Americans being cursed with darker skin.
With red skin, that's
because
right.
They didn't accept Jesus.
Yeah, that's
on
true.
his special vacation to America that totally happened. Thanks, Joseph Smith.
Oh, jeez. I don't know if we'll ever read that, but it sounds like a hard one, too.
Oh, we will. We will get.
We might.
it eventually.
So while Chris is figuring his shit out, I don't know if it should be on Tuesday or like on New Year's or something. Maybe we should try to get like some stuff together, because on Tuesday is actually our 3-year anniversary on YouTube. At least on this channel. I've been on YouTube for almost 10 fucking years now.
Yeah, you're old.
I am old as shit.
If you want to see little baby Lawrence, you can go check out the Russian Nihilist channel.
Yeah.
Baby-year Lawrence.
If you want to see an infant Lawrence
6-7 years ago.
flapping in front of a camera, there you can do that. It
Yeah,
exists.
feel free.
We had really advanced green screening skills.
God,
on
that was
channel, huh?
that was so bad. I just had that was just so bad. Holy
You had like a
fucking
green
shit.
blanket that was tacked up on your
No,
wall.
no, I didn't even have a green blanket. My wall was green.
Semi-green.
It was semi-green. It was so fucking bad. And the lighting was so bad. It was just bad. Like, you could halfway see through me. It was so bad.
Huh. And now we can see all the way through you.
Yeah, because I'm totally transparent.
Yep.
Yep. Anyways, so, and then on New Year's, it's
Can't
just New
find
Year's.
it. I can't find it. I give up. But the earlier in the book, there's this one part, somewhere between like 11 and 20, so it's relatively early in the book. There are some parts that sound literally like verbatim out of Squidbillies.
Okay.
They're like one of Early's worst quotes, like, I ain't never gonna get educated, never, no how, no way, because none of them gonna be at me. And I'm like, oh, all right, Bible, sure. You go ahead and develop a Southern twang and just become nonsense.
So, what I want to know is, what do you guys think we should do? Should we do a stream for Tuesday, or do you think we should do a stream for New Year's? And I'm asking the audience that and you guys.
I don't care.
I'd rather do New Year's, I guess.
Okay.
I just don't care.
New
We
Year's
can do
is
either one.
Did any of our chatters
Yes,
talk about
yes.
their favorite
Any
stuff?
of your
They
favorite
said
stories?
the whole thing was confusing and that it's cool that we have a slightly better grasp on that. I agree. It's cool, but I don't think we grasp it.
I grasp it, but I don't think it's
Ruben's grasping at the invisible strings he thinks are there,
no,
trying to tie them
That
together into
doesn't-
some
I
coherence.
don't think it's difficult. They are pretty straightforward about a lot of it. You just gotta
they're
keep
ju-
in mind that a lot of it is just metaphors for advice, like survival advice, and it's set up.
Tuesday is fine from one of our guys. They say they'd like a Tuesday stream.
Anyways, it's set up in a very smart way because Genesis starts off not only as an account of creation, which is obviously fiction, but it goes on to continually give good advice, like how to till the land. Even later on, when they're talking about famine, it's still practical advice about what to do in times of famine.
Yeah.
Right? So throughout the entire thing, there's this common theme of generally good advice. Now, where it starts to fall apart a little bit
A little bit.
is when it goes over into the Abraham story. Because at the Abraham story, they really start focusing in on single people. And from then on, you've got like a Joseph story or a Jacob story. But whenever they do that, they're strictly trying to teach moral lessons, as opposed to just the generally useful things that.
Yeah, and their moral lessons are really not all that great.
Yeah,
And they're pretty vague.
yeah, their moral lessons are pretty terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I cannot wait until Leviticus, I think, because that's just the book of rules, right? Yeah. Leviticus is the book of rules, and it's just a big law book that we're going to be reading through at that point.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get to that because that just sounds hysterical.
Lawrence just can't wait to be king.
Well, to be fair, Leviticus is only 27 chapters long.
Is that fair?
Genesis is the longest book.
Is it?
Yes.
Huh. Well, we're done with the longest book. Pat on the back for everybody. There you go.
Woo.
So
Pat
now
on
we
the back.
can get into Exodus. Exodus goes
40.
on for, yes,
There are 40.
Still pretty long.
40 chapters.
Yeah,
And
although
it's perhaps a more significant story.
it is really more significant. Like, unless you're like a literalist, it's just a more significant part. Yeah, Genesis is longer than that.
Slightly longer.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, definitely thank you.
The three people that were with us the entire time, you're the best. Anyone who joined otherwise, you're pretty great. But those other guys are the best.
So just a few last words before we leave you. Make sure if you want a nice mug, you go into the link in the description.
We also
Teespring.
still have t-shirts.
We also still have T-shirts, and you can
Yep.
order those through the website.
Yep.
You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter to see what we're up to. We do stuff. We post things
Occasionally.
Subscribe if you haven't. Share the channel. All that shit. And if you really love what we do, consider supporting us on Patreon, because really anything helps.
Yep.
And if you really love what we do, consider stalking Lawrence, finding out where he lives, and showing up on his doorstep someday.
Yeah, do that. I always love to meet the fans.
One day Lawrence wakes up with a massive fan in front of his yard.
It's just the giant
Yeah,
fan.
like
An oscillating fan.
No,
though.
somebody just ripped off one of those giant windmills and slammed it in your yard.
I would love that. I would
Yeah.
I would cherish that
Yeah.
for forever.
Thanks
It's
for the
broken.
windmill.
It's just thrown on your yard.
That's okay.
All right. Well, that's how I feel like we should end a giant windmill thrown on the yard.
Okay.
Thanks again
Yep.
for joining us.
Thank
everybody.
you.